It's been 6 days now since Queen has released, and the kind of reactions that have been coming in, a lot of times you get a film that gets released and there are varied reactions, but I think I've not met anybody yet who's not liked Queen. And you've done 15 odd films so far. Would you say the reactions to Queen have probably been the best so far?
Best and unusual. It's literally like a phenomena. Like my phone hasn't stopped since it has released, and I've never received a handwritten letter from Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, like really special compliments from Mr. Amir Khan, and so many people. I mean, I can go on, like Ranbir Kapoor, Anushka, Deepika. I mean, I can go on. These people have never really reached out,
Right.
and then told me that they liked my work or they loved the film. What's really unusual about the film is that it's just not a good film. People are just owning it, and they are telling, like, one person watching it and taking 10 other people with them, and like, you have to see.
Right.
So that's very, very unusual.
But did you get that sense while you were shooting the film as well? Did it seem like a special film while you were making it?
I knew it was I knew Mr. Amir Khan would like it. I knew someone like Mr. Bachchan, when he sees it, he'll really enjoy the nuances of an actor, artist to artist. What I really underestimated is the common people. I never thought they have. I'm learning. This is my learning lesson that I thought our audience somewhere is not as evolved as Europeans, or as
Right.
I mean, looking at our cinema, the kind of films are blockbuster. They're so loud in every way, and the humor is so slapstick. I thought no one would even find it funny. Honestly, I thought how subtle the humor is. I thought no one would find it funny, and it might just not do well at all. That's what I thought. But
Right.
there was no doubt about it that it's a very, very fine film.
But I believe you were reluctant to take on the film at first. Is that true? Did you have, were you in two minds about taking on the film to begin with?
Yeah, for the same reasons.
You thought it wasn't commercially viable?
Not really commercially viable, but it's a character-driven film. Like, it's very, very close to. I mean, I would really. Abhishek Kapoor said it's like Indian Roman holiday, but for me, I think it's more like Taxi Driver, where the script can really fall flat if the character is not convincing.
Right.
And it's one person in every frame for 2.5 hours. You can't really name another film like that. It could be central character, but you don't have one character in every frame. That can be too much of any character, no matter how adorable and how interesting that character is. It's just too much of that one person, and then everything is going against that one person as a performer. The person is caged, she's judgmental, she's unhappy, she's depressed, everything is going against her. Why would I sit through 2.5 hours looking, and she's average looking, she just, everything is against her. She's so like anti-heroine, like
Right.
it's not even funny, like. So I knew that it can be very, very interesting, and it can actually push me beyond my own limits and as an actor. But then again, it's such a big challenge that you just have to take it. And I was like, I'm not sure if I'm really ready for it. Like, I didn't have so much confidence in me that I can really pull it off.
Right.
And I knew if I do, it will literally take everything of mine, like literally, So I didn't have a personal life for about a year. I was into character.
Totally engrossed in the role.
Yeah, because I think that was one part. Like, I knew that I have to just let go of everything. My phone was off for months, and just working on details of the character. That part was a bit. And then again, you have to be prepared that people might not even get it. Also, you have to be prepared that it might or not even come across what you're trying to do.
Right.
The medium is such that you might be trying to do something amazing, but what if tomorrow it doesn't transform?
Right.
Or it doesn't become the film, because there's such a fine line between what you're trying to convey through body language. It is a journey. Like, you see, there's no transformation, like no physical transformation of the character. It's a transformation within.
Right.
You can't really drive a camera through a character's head and picture and photograph the thoughts and the slow and gradual evolution of a soul.
And it's rather subtle, right? It's not like she transforms into a different person or anything. She's still
Yeah.
the same person. She's probably just better equipped to deal with life than
Yeah.
she was at the beginning of the
Yeah,
film, right?
sure.
And that's subtle, and to bring that across must have been some sort of a challenge.
Also, I'm not like someone who's like done many films and who's been like now. I think my confidence is a little bit more after Queen.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the fact that I'm directly connecting with the audience, and it's been a good learning experience as well. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that.
But you talk about these various facets of the character. Is there any one aspect that you found the most difficult to convey?
To Yeah, I think towards the climax when she's over him and
Yeah.
audience know it before her.
Right.
That scene.
The
where
coffee table scene.
Yeah, the coffee table scene. That I need to go to the rock show,
concert, yeah.
and I think that was a difficult show because you're over someone and you think you're not, but you're conveying that thing subconsciously in a very subtle way to the audience that she is so over him and she still doesn't know it. We just hope that she doesn't go back to him because that was the biggest mistake. I think that was a bit tricky scene in terms of performance.
But now that you've done something like Queen, you've sort of it's got box office returns and it's got acclaim and you've got an author-backed role. Do you see yourself going back to doing a regular Bollywood film after this as well?
No, not really. I think it's not that I didn't want to do films like Queen. You see, Queen is a landmark film even for Indian cinema.
Sure.
So the films like this aren't made in our country, and what's really fulfilling and encouraging is this audience liking it.
Right.
Like our literacy rate has gone up. Our expectations from cinema is a little bit more meaningful films than versus just that physical on the surface pleasure.
Right.
Which is like, even if you step out of theatre and have a half an hour conversation, come back, you don't miss out on any story because there's no story or nothing.
Right.
Nothing more. So pleasure is not on emotional or intellectual level. It's very physical, very like sensual.
Sure.
So I am literally walking on clouds to see the audience reaction not from the intellectual people like Mr. Khan and Mr. Bachchan. For me, like, they are artists, and I too, but I think for us, what is important is that our audience wants films like these. Multiplexes have been converted into single screen theaters and people are clapping, whistling, girls are standing on the chairs and clapping.
Yeah.
And they're having a ball in a film which is hardly a comedy film, and I like that. I like the fact that we are reacting to films like these. But your question was that would I go back to doing films like that? I wouldn't want to, because for me, like, this is very, very fulfilling, and for me, I much rather do things where I get to evolve, I get to grow as an artist on every level.
Right.
Versus just going to a set like a dead body and just following
Going through the
instruction
motions, yeah.
and just killing my days because everyone's time is so precious and everyone has limited time, and I guess I wouldn't want to just kill time. I might as well do something constructive. So
Right.
I'd love to do Queen, but having said that, we have to understand the possibility of a Queen
Queen
coming
getting made.
is
Yeah,
even
often.
if you have a script as good as Queen or as good as any other film, it might not translate as like a good film, because filmmaking is a very, very organic process.
Sure.
And has to be done like that. And if you know too much about it, it's probably only profession where more experienced people get worse films they start to make. You see, no, it's
That
it's
is
a
true.
fact,
Yeah, yeah.
So the more calculative and more wise an artist becomes, and less spontaneous and less, instinctive they become, they lose what they had, because once they know what they have, they just lose it.
And that's especially interesting in Vikas's case because he does not really have a filmmaking background.
Yeah.
He joined the industry only 5-6 years ago and he hasn't assisted anyone.
Yeah.
And was still able to make a movie like Queen.
Yeah.
But when you look at 2014, we're just 3 months in, and we've had some really great female actors, sort of making their mark. Alia Bhatt's role in Highway was praised a lot. Pariniti Chopra got a lot of praise for Hasi To Phasi as well. Queen, of course, it's gone through the roof now. Do you think these are good times for female actors in the industry?
I think somewhere these contemporary makers, they are doing high concept films. But again, for me as a creative person, I don't think film should be made for women or men or children, or in a high concept film the protagonist is a machine or even a
Sure.
calculator. That should be made like we need to give our audience some food for their thoughts and value for their money. Not just I find these cliche copied the same film that been made for ages are such a fraud and such a cheat, because somewhere we are just conning people.
Yeah, yeah. But are there female actors that you admire? Any contemporaries whose work you really enjoy?
Yes, of course. I think we have great bunch of girls, and I think Deepika is very good at what she does. Vidya, Pariniti. I haven't seen Highway, but I've heard Alia is good at this
Right.
stage. To have this sort of reaction from audience is very nice.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe there's a film with Irfan in the offing. I mean, you guys are talking about that.
Yes, yeah. Irfan sir is someone I really look up to, and hopefully we will come together and we'll do a film together.
But are there any such other actors that you'd like to work with apart from Irfan that you haven't with already?
Mr. Amir Khan,
Okay.
I'd love to work with him.
Your next film is Revolver Rani. The trailers have been out. It again looks like an author-backed role. Could you talk a little bit about that film?
Yeah, that too again. um, the good thing about that film is I'd signed that after Queen, after I'd done I'd shot for Queen. So my confidence in me as an actor had grown and gone to another level, because I knew I have achieved. Now this reaction from audience is just is not that important, right? Because for me, when I'd done Queen, and for me I'd lived so well for a year and literally done things that I could never imagine I could do. So when Revolver Rani was offered to me, I was very sure, and I'm like, I can do it. But my sister was with me when we had the narration. She's like, "You're not doing this. No, you can't." I said, "Yeah, I will." So she was scared to.
You're playing a gangster, right?
I'm playing a woman who's a politician, come gangster, and she has a fetish for revolvers and men, and blood and everything dark. And she's not even grey. Like she's dark. She's a very, very dark character.
We wish you the best of luck for Revolver Rani, and thanks a lot for making Queen.
Thank
yeah,
you.
thanks.